everyone, and welcome back to The Heir's Lair. I am your host, aspiring author Jonathan Taylor. Before anyone asks, yes, this is the same shirt I wore in the last video, don't judge me. As the title already gave away, in this video I will be answering the writers are weird tag. The questions, just like last time, are written on my tablet. And just like last time, they're also not numbered, so I'll have to go through this. So if I stumble at any point, yeah, you know why. Let's get started. Question 1. Do you have bizarre internet searches? Yes. Which is your weirdest? Well, funny enough, my weirdest internet searches aren't actually related to to my main writing project itself, but rather to my side interest when it comes to writing, which is collaborative erotic fiction. And yeah, you can snicker if you want. But and the reason it gets really weird like that is because I want to set the mood just right, set the atmosphere just right. That also includes accuracy because I'm kind of a stickler. So, for example, I once researched the layout of medieval castles just to make sure it's genuine. Yes, I have in fact done that. As for my main writing project, I think the weirdest things I've researched are the names of certain historical figures. Because yeah, I kind of have a thing for historical irony. You will find out. I hope, eventually. Question 2. Do you write dumb people or people you don't like into your story as villains or cannon fodder, or just people who die? The answer is no. I'm not that petty. Or at least I try not to come off as that petty, because I am neither rich nor famous nor wealthy enough to make that seem funny or endearing. So yeah, I do base my villains on people I don't like, but not specific people, certain categories of people. If you get my drift. However, even then, that is not really that's a rule I kind of play fast and loose with. For example, one of the side villains is a mean girl character, and she's based off one of my exes, and I get along really well with her. But for some reason, I thought she was an excellent inspiration for a mean girl side villain. What can I say? Question 3. Does personal hygiene sometimes come second to writing? No, never has. When it comes to my writing, I generally schedule a certain specific time block, either somewhere between 1.5 and 2 hours, maybe a bit more. And within that time block, I stick to writing, and I do my best to not. Sorry about that. I do my best to make sure it doesn't overlap with any of my grooming habits. I sometimes have to shift the time block either for writing or for grooming habits, but I can never really say I prioritize writing over personal hygiene. The one thing I do kind of tend to prioritize over writing is browsing time, browsing the internet. So it happens that sometimes I get done writing, then I go to the internet to look at all the things I want to see. Then I look down at the time and figure out, oh, damn, it's late again. I'm giving myself insomnia because of this book. Yeah, that's the kind of thing. Question 4. Do you go on baby name websites to name your characters? That is almost cute in its amateurishness. No offense to anyone who does that, but that is my impression. Because I don't know. The thing about baby names is they don't really offer a lot of variety. Whenever I name a character, I always think about their cultural background, because that's not just their culture, because that tells a lot about what names their parents would come up with. So, for example, if I want a character to be representative of culture X, I'll Google culture X names. And usually either the first, the second, or the third website that comes up as a result will have a name that I think suits the character, either for its meaning or for how it sounds or for how I think people will respond to it. Yeah, hope that helps. Question 5. Do you have a list of actors to play your characters in adaptations? No, for 2 reasons. 1. It limits the pool of available appearances my characters can take on. 2. I have for a time watched casting videos on YouTube where people discuss which character would be best suited for which role if a certain property were to be made for the large or small screen. And I always run into the problem that I have a pretty small reference pool, so I always end up casting the same 20 or 30 people into my roles. And so, no, I don't. So I don't really have an active list of actors for my characters. Question 6. Have you ever stared at a stranger because they look like one of your characters? I can't really say I've ever done that. I have stared at strangers, but that's mainly because either they excite my interest. I find their appearance or their demeanor interesting enough. Or 2, because I think they're doing something stupid or reckless. Like, for example, walking around without a mask, or walking around while having it put on badly, like showing the nose. You're dooming us all, you idiot. That's kind of what goes through my head when I see someone like that, and that's the kind of reason why I would tend to stare, but even then I don't really stare exactly. I've been taught better, I hope. Question 7. Do you talk to yourself to work through scenes? If so, where? Well, most of the time it's in my room, in my one-room apartment, and I'll give you a little hint. This isn't really a writing tips and tricks video, but there is one hint I am willing to give to you for free. Whenever you're writing dialogue, always, always, always read it out loud. You have to realize what it sounds like. You have to see if it seems genuine, if it seems natural. And furthermore, it helps you realize if your character would really say the things you are putting in their mouth. Another thing I kind of do, which I think I'm in the minority, is whenever there is a hand-to-hand fight scene, close quarter combat, I kind of mimic the way the characters move. So if I write that they make a half step in one way, or deflect a blow, or punch their opponent, I really have to step up and do the half step, do the deflection, do the punch. Make sure it has fluidity. Make sure it makes sense for that character to do it. Both from a pragmatic standpoint of that is the best thing to do in that scenario, and both from a character standpoint of would that character really not rather kick instead of punch in that situation. So yeah, that's kind of one thing I do. And yes, it is indeed almost always here. I've never really written anywhere else. Maybe if I were to write somewhere else, I would do these same things somewhere else. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge if it comes to it. Question 8. Do you make the expressions your characters make while writing? Well, I do smile. I catch myself smiling whenever I say a certain character smiles. But otherwise, I don't think I really frown if a character frowns, or burst out laughing if a character bursts out laughing. And I do rate characters sighing a lot, but I don't really emulate that either. I do, however, try to get myself into their headspace, into their emotion space, to make sure that that is what character would say in that state of mind. But I don't think I really externalize it to the extent this question is suggesting. Question 9. Do you practice answering questions in case you make it big? One could argue that is exactly what I'm doing right now. So it's less a case of answering questions in case I make it big. It's more a case of answering questions in order to make it big, which is kind of weird to think about, I think. Maybe not. And the other thing I do in case I make it big is actually related to another hobby of mine, which is I'm in a political party, so I go on to online debates basically all the time with my fellow party members. Most of the time, I find them to be quite frustrating because even though they are smart and capable people, that does not come through in the arguments they make. And then the fact that they constantly repeat arguments I've already proven wrong, like that annoys me the most. So yeah, that's how I practice my communication skills as of right now. Maybe in the future I'll have more avenues. We'll see. Question 10. Do you have a writing soundtrack or playlist while writing? The answer to that is no. Because, as I've said in the first and second video, I think that's actually just the second video, I have a very analytical mind, so if I listen to a song, I automatically start analyzing it. Like, I start looking at what makes it good, what makes it bad, what makes it work. How does this riff make me feel? Does this lyric convey what it's supposed to convey? And so on and so forth. I actually did a video on my second channel where I started talking about a song. I gave a lot of description about the intro and kept the rest of the song vague for two reasons. Mainly because I want to encourage other people to seek out and listen to this song. Second of all, if I were to go into as much detail about the rest of the song as I did for the intro, then the discussion about the song would be longer than the song itself, and I really don't want that in a tag answering video. So yeah, if I were to listen to certain songs while writing, then I constantly get distracted, and I constantly have to turn that analytical aspect of my brain off for every new element that attracts my attention, and it's just not productive when it comes to writing. If I want to get some background noise for writing, I mostly just open the window and listen to the city noise. That's it. That's really all I can stomach. And now I realize this answer makes me seem autistic. I actually think I am on the spectrum, but I'm really high functioning. It's not a debilitating condition. At least I don't think it is. And yeah, that was the last question. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you don't find anything I've said too unusual. And even though I don't think tag fatigue is actually a thing, I am gonna stop doing tags for now, even though there are many other tags I could do as a booktuber. Instead, I think I will go through certain impressions of certain books and authors in the next few videos, and maybe just maybe I will start working on presenting character profiles. Let me know what you'd like to see first. Yeah. Once again, thank you for your attention, and until next time.